safeguard resources for the future generation. Whatever. Guess. Exaggerate. Sorry? 2000? A lot? Oh. Anyone can guess something else? 2000 is really nothing. 6.5 million. You can laugh, it's okay, because that was a kind of a joke. But we don't have to laugh. We don't have to laugh. This number remember me something, but these are number of a world. We are facing a world. Getting older. 5.4. So if everyone would live, we would need for Earth to live in. Okay, and if you go in sub-Saharan Africa, the situation would be quite different and so on. Unluckily, I don't have Mexico here inside. You can browse and tell me tomorrow where are you?
6 Earths.
I don't think that much. But and about socio-ethical sustainability, it's about one big issue is that of hunger, chronic hunger around the world, or how is it called, undernourishment. The politician, okay, even us, we have to think that we are into this framework. And this framework, what is telling to us, we are really very close to the collapse, and that we need a radical change. So it's not enough to make incremental change, to change a little bit the things. Oh, I can make it a little bit better, it's a little bit more recyclable, oh, I did it. Oh, we have to do really radical changes. And radical changes, when we speak about innovation, we usually call the terms of system. So we have to look on a system level. To give you a better picture, when we think about we can increment, design something that is more recyclable into a car, or design a car. So it's not just to look into a material or a process or even a car in its life cycle, but it's even a matter of thinking to the overall system, the mobility. What makes me to move from one place to the other? Okay, there is a car that has been produced by someone, the material has been collected by someone else, and blah blah. There are lots of factors there. So this is the system of mobility, and it's a matter. And I've been listening that you have been working on a system level. You were describing stakeholder and this kind of thing. So thinking on a system level, it means to think in terms of stakeholder and stakeholder interaction. And this is where we have to set our innovation level, at least at the first instance, if we want to tackle correctly sustainability not needed. And we have to put ourselves as designer into that dimension. And this is why we are introducing sustainable product service system. So we are speaking on a system level. I jump this because we are late, and I make you a preliminary example of a sustainable product service system. We have a comparison of a traditional offer of a washing machine and a sustainable product service system offer. What happens in a traditional, when you go in a shop, you buy a washing machine, you take it at home and you use it. So you pay the washing machine, normal. Then you pay the electricity that is used, the detergent, the water, and so on, okay? In an SPSS offer, that is the case of pay-per-use made in a joint venture between Ariston and Enel, which is an energy supplier. They actually offer you the washing machine. So you get the washing machine at home, They're offering you the energy, but you're not directly paying the energy. Either is the energy supplier. What you're paying? You're paying every time you wash. You wash one time and you pay. Okay? It's different. You see the difference? I'm buying a washing machine, so I become the owner of the washing machine. On the other side, what I'm buying is the final results I want to have. A clean clothes. So I pay per wash. And the product, the washing machine, remains in the ownership of the manufacturer, or the provider, or in this case, of the partnership that is offering this. If I describe this a little bit better, what happened is that what they are offering, they install to you the work, they come with the washing machine, they give you the washing machine, they install it, they give you the energy. They take, when they have a meter to take out the energy that is consumed by the washing machine, so you are not paying directly this in the energy bill. But in the paper wash, you receive even the service of maintenance. Something happened, they take care about this, but you don't have additional cost. Okay? If it gets broken, they repair it, they substitute it, and at the end of the night, they take it back to their side where they will be doing something and so on. So now I would like to try to understand together with you why the economic and environmental interest could go hand in hand in this kind of business activities. If you look at the production phase, when we are producing a product, there is an economic interest in reducing the resource consumption to produce the washing machine. Okay, this is actually happening even in a traditional office. A producer wants to produce a washing machine consuming as less as possible material, as less as possible energy, and so on. This is normal. Okay, so it happens in both the levels. But can you tell me why in the use phase there is an economic interest, a strong economic interest in reducing the energy consumption in use? So why the provider want to have a washing machine that is the most efficient possible? For economic reasons.
Reduce the quantity of the amount of energy it consumes, and you pay less.
And
you pay less for the electricity.
You? Who? You?
Well, the providers.
The provider. Oh, okay, not you.
And finally, the final user pay less. Or
no, the final user pay the same. Okay, final user pay the same. Pay per wash. But he get the money, paper wash, minus what? The energy that is consumed per wash. So as efficient is the washing machine, better it is for the company. Okay? And there is even an economic interest in shifting towards the use of, this is not the case, of passive and renewable energy resources. So for example, to have something that is powered by a solar panel that is placed somewhere. And can you guess why? Am I paying the sun? The wind? So usually renewable resources are there, okay? So okay, there is the fact that maybe you have to put the solar panel and everything, but basically they are there. And so far we don't have to pay the air and the sun. Who knows what will happen in the future? Yeah. But so far we don't know. We don't know when the air will get so polluted.
Generally, there are some ways to
yes, exactly. But and so since they don't, this is not the cost. Of course, they are interested in designing something that is using a passive renewable resources, which is good for the environment. Okay? An economic interest drive the producer to do something that is good for the environment. And there is even an economic interest in designing a product that lasts very long, the washing machine that lasts very long. You know, now we're you go to buy something and you say, ah, shit, now it's broken. You know, just I don't know if you have the 2 warranty years as a law here in Mexico. In Italy, you have, when you buy something, there is who's selling you is obliged to give you 2 warranty years. If something happened in 2 warranty years, they have to pay back. Well, it happens, 2 warranty years, and one day it broke. But no, but actually somehow they designed it. So this was a discussion to take you close to give you an answer why the manufacturer of the washing machine is interested to design something that lasts very long, which is not so common in the nowadays economic society. You are not allowed. No. Professor,
I think that if the product can make this service for more time, the provider could have more money for this service. And I don't know if the product doesn't include an obsolescence. I don't know if it's that correct, that word. Everybody could win, but I don't know how to explain.
Let's see if someone get closer. You want to take help? Yes, please.
The provider doesn't need to produce more washing machines for a long time?
If it doesn't last longer, the producer, that is the owner of the washing machine, has to buy new material to produce the washing machine, has to produce, has to assemble. There are new costs to transport, has to transport, has the cost of disposal of the old washing machine. In a traditional offer market, I'm selling a washing machine. The producer hopes that it gets broken very soon so that he can sell a new one, which is not that good for the environment, okay? In this other type of offer, it's just the opposite. He saves the money because if this lasts longer, he avoids the cost of the production of a new washing machine and the disposal of another one, okay? Because he remains the owner.
Carl.
Yes, please.
I usually have this discussion with my students. It's not the fact that we need to plan artifacts to last longer, but the question is how long does the artifact should last? For example, if I'm designing a cup for coffee, how long should it last? It will be 5 minutes in my hands and then I throw it away. On the other side, we have a washing machine. How long do we expect it will last? 20 years, 10 years. So it's like reflecting what the expectations about lasting, how long do we want the product to last? Which make it more difficult.
This is a long discourse. Because it's quite technical, because there is a break-even points related to this of the last. But if I can, maybe we come to this discussion in another moment, because no, really, I don't want to escape. This is very important, but it's on a product level dimension, and it's very. It's quite long. But we make a session after. I am open to all the discussion about it. We have been working a lot even about it. Of course, you have to design in relation to the product and understanding the obsolescence and technological, but it's really long.
I know.
And in the disposal phase, there is an economic interest of the product producer to design something that is easy to be recycled. Why they are interested in recycling? For an economic reason?
Because they can, I don't know how to say, recover the materials, all of them, and the components that they were used to the product. So, which
They don't have to buy new material because they are recycling the material that they buy years ago.
Exactly. They don't have the cost of disposal. So they avoid this. Of course, they will design, as to design for long-lasting product and all the discussion that we may have related to that, to make this to happen. But the point is that there is an economic interest in doing this, okay? Which is not happening in a traditional offer market. In relation to the socio-ethical benefit, here I think I have to go a bit faster because we are a bit late, or not? Yes, definitely. What happened is that they open up to a new market. But here I want you to, can you try to guess why this could be interesting while saying this even for low and middle income context? For example, for the context that you visited.
Because they don't have to invest a big amount of money, and they can pay by the use of the service.
Fantastic. Come here to teach me. Exactly. There is not the cost, the initial investment, so-called initial investment cost. They don't have the money to purchase something. But if they pay per use, this could be affordable, as many other things. The quality of life can be improved. This could, give harmonies and blah blah. But even the entrepreneur, they can get staff, equipment, so that they can start their business without paying the initial investment cost, something that they cannot afford. And on the other side, as we saw that there are even costs related to in SPSS, the costs are of maintenance, reparation, and so on, are into the offering. They don't have to pay if something happened. They have a product, a pump to pump out the water, and then it breaks. They don't have the money to pay this, okay? Because they don't have the money to repair. But if the cost is included in the offer, they don't have this kind of risk. But at the same time, the provider will design something that will last long and so on. So you see that with this preliminary example, now we will discuss this a little bit further until the time we have today. That is a win-win solution because it's economically, environmentally, and socio-ethically sustainable. Another thing that I have to highlight, that I want to highlight, is where is the ownership. So we can have, car sharing systems. You all know, yes? Okay, good. We could have a car sharing system in which, as the first one, the Zipcar. Zipcar is a company that buy a car from a car manufacturer. Okay? They buy and they offer the car sharing. They offer and they pay per time and per kilometer made or something different type. Okay. And they take care of maintenance, insurance, and so on. There is another case, River Simple. You pay per month, but given that River Simple is the same producer of the car. Okay? What is the difference here? What they are both good, all right? But since Reversible is the producer of the car, he's directly, there to say to the designer, you have to design to meet something because he's the producer. That is the most efficient car that lasts as long as possible, that will consume as less energy as possible, maybe renewable energy or whatever it is. It's easy to be recycled and so on. On the other side, Zipcar, of course, will look for the best car that consumes less energy, that is the hybrid car and so on, but is not directly acting because it's not the one that is producing the same car. Okay? So this is another thing to keep in mind. Another very important thing that some theorists of product service system or system innovation or social innovation sometimes forgot is that there is even the material side of it. If an approach to sustainable product service system is environmentally, socio-ethically beneficial, and this is driven by an economical reason, we don't have to forget that we have to design the product to be with a low environmental impact. So if we are not able to design a product, a washing machine that lasts long, that use renewable resources, that is easy to be recyclable, and so on, then we have a good system to make something that potentially could define a good product, but then the product is not. So the material side is always there. So we have still some material side, some flow of resources, and so on. So never forget that we have even the material side. And I know, for example, that here the approach is very correct. But Sandra is teaching even life cycle assessment to get there with social innovation. So you can make even social innovation. Okay, maybe you can make some product that is with an SPSS could be interesting in different level. But then you have to understand that this is really long lasting, and then at the end is with a low environmental impact. Okay. How long I have still? Half an hour. So I think I can conclude this by we have to change a little the program. Okay. There are three typology of PSS usually, and I will illustrate this typology through three examples. This is Kluber. Kluber is offering lubricants. Usually they offer lubricants to a company that, for example, produce cars that you need lubricants, in the plants. Adding a service. So basically they offer these lubricants, they sell this, they have a van that is going on site where they actually are using, the company is using, the manufacturer is using the lubricants, and the service is to, they make an investigation to know how they can use in the best way the lubricants that they are selling. They make an investigation on how to reduce the environmental impact of the residual of the lubricants, which many times is very toxic. So they sell the lubricants, but they add even this service, okay? And they pay all this as a full package. It's not that they pay the lubricant plus the service. It's a full package, okay? So this is why this is eco-efficient. Because actually, as we say, there is an innovation in terms of the interaction among the two stakeholders, the Kluber and the customer, because they add these life cycle services. So these life cycle services, what is the end result? Frankly speaking, if they make a good analysis of the system itself will consume less lubricant, so they reduce the impact. If they make a good service, they will say to them how to reduce the emission at the end of the life. Okay. Maybe they are selling a little bit less lubricants, but they get the money from the service that they are offering. So at the end, this is a win-win solution. Okay. This is called, this first type is the less radical type of SPSS innovation, and it's called product-oriented SPSS. It's SPSS added value to product life cycle. And generally, you can see other example. This is an analysis of a company or analysis of company providing additional services, which could be maintenance, repair, upgrading, substitution, take back, in all life cycle. And in this case, the product is sold to the customer, but the customer has less responsibility over the life cycle performance of the same product. Okay? We already saw the case of River Simple to make it easier. So River Simple is offering, if you go by them, you pay per month, and they give you everything, the energy, the maintenance, the insurance, and whatever. And the shift is actually from selling car to selling mobility, or the possibility to move from one place to the other. And the innovative interaction between the two companies, again, here I'm emphasizing the innovative interaction, because it's, as we will see, is first interaction, the innovative interaction between the stakeholders that makes some technological innovation to be put in place into the product that we are developing. Make the interest of the company to design something that will last longer, as we saw before, that consumes as much energy as possible, that maybe is using renewable energy, is easy to be recycled, and so on. How we call this? We call this use-oriented PSS or SPSS as enabling platform for the company. It's a company, or could be an analysis of company that provide access to product, tools, opportunities, something as enabling platform in which the customer is not the owner of the car or the product, whatever it is, but is operating on the product, is driving the car. Okay? So is operating on the product. Why I'm highlighting this? Because we will see, and this is the third and last example. A third case is paper looks offered by Philips. What they say? For example, they come here to the university, and they say, okay, I give you the lighting system, but you don't pay for the lighting system, you don't buy the lighting system, you pay per lux. Paper lux is the light you are studying, the light that you have per surface. So what we need actually to read and to do the things and the activities. So you are paid for the final satisfaction of it, and you don't pay for the maintenance and so on. So they install the things, they take care about the maintenance, they take back the system at the end of the lights, and so on. So we change from selling the lighting system to selling the light. Okay? And again, it's the innovative interaction among the stakeholders that makes the provider interested in designing something that the lighting system that lasts as long as possible, because they remain the owner, as we said before. Okay? And that is easy to be, some part to be reused in some other component if they have to take it back. It's easy to be recycled because they have to take it back, and so on. Okay? But this is a bit different from the other because it's called result-oriented PSS. So it's an SPSS where we are providing a final result to the customer. It's a kind of a full service. The client is not doing it, I'm not driving the car. Everything is fully served by the company that is offering this. Okay? So this changes something even when you are designing. And here is a schematization of these three typology, where you see that in the product-oriented, the typology, the service component is lower, then a use-oriented becomes higher, but we are still using the car. In result-oriented, it's a full service, so the part that is offered as a service by the company is even larger. So actually this is a shift if we want to make a synthesis from selling what? From selling a product to selling what? A unit of satisfaction. We have to bear this in mind. What am I really selling? A product or a unit of satisfaction? What could be a unit of satisfaction? To have clean clothes, to move from one place to the other, or to meet a friend.
Get fun.
Sorry?
I don't know. When you're going to go to cinema, you expect only have fun. I don't know, and you also pay for all other things that are important for fun. I don't know, candies or I mean the paradigm that you are establishes that we have to focus in the essential of the service, not the things that are around the product.
No, it depends. It depends what you are thinking about. If you think I want to have fun in a certain way, or that is your unit of satisfaction. For example, if I think to car, with a car I can move, I can go to the cinema. But if frankly speaking, if the unit of satisfaction is to look a movie with some friends, I can have this at home maybe without the need of having the car. Okay, so you're really getting to the point. But in fact, going to the unit of satisfaction, so thinking in terms of satisfaction, and what you are saying is into that direction. It takes you to things even in a more radical way in terms of design. Okay, and I think it's even more honest because we don't have to design really cars. We have to design something that gives satisfaction.
And maybe we don't need cinemas. That's my point. Well, I don't know.
Yes, I don't know this, but actually what I want to highlight, that is at least in SPSS, but I think that in design in general, we have to shift a bit more from designing only product to designing something that is closer to a unit of satisfaction or to a satisfaction. Then how to define this in relation, you're speaking with to a company, and then with a company you have to define this, okay? And then the innovation, the other thing is that the innovation is, at the first time, is not a technological innovation. The first time is a technological innovation in terms of new configuration of stakeholders, new type of interaction between two companies that get together, the washing machine producer with the energy supplier, make a partnership and offer something in a different way to a customer, okay? So we, at the beginning, as designer, we are designing a new interaction among stakeholders. You were describing stakeholder, so it means that we have to think in terms of stakeholder configuration design and make those stakeholder configuration design to be interesting so that there is the economic interest to design something that is really sustainable in environmental and socio-ethical terms. And then comes even the innovation in a technological level. And the customer value many times is more on the assessed rather than in the product ownership. And of course this is a win-win protection in terms of sustainability. Here is a definition, and okay, I can read it. It's an offer model providing an integrated mix of products and services that are together able to fulfill a particular customer demand to deliver a unit of satisfaction based on innovative interaction among the stakeholders, where it is in the economic interest of the provider to offer something that is at the same time environmentally and socio-ethically sustainable. Okay, this is an overall definition of what is an SPSS. But I said the story before saying the definition, because if not, that would have been like an alien over there. Okay, so here are the main characteristics, but I think that these has already been said by what was said before, so I stop these Here. Yes. Thank you. Maybe now we can make some pistol. Maybe it's better not to make some
Este momento deberías de tener un juego. Sí, un poquito más. Ok. Lo que sucede si van a poner este sonido en el juego, se hace un daño porque no te puede tener en cuenta que cuando te aprendes, quizá la van a estar porque si ocupan ese daño, cada computador que se conecta al ahorita ya está jalando bastante bien. Sí, me puedes dar la ayudarte a checar si está saliendo. Mana, un servidor aquí por el cruz 31 65 16 16. ¿Sabe? Okay. Gracias. Gracias.
¿Derecha o izquierda? ¿Son repeticiones? ¿Se ve padrísimo? ¿Es terminal? ¿Desarrollo?
No, esto es para la...
Que compite como...
Hice mi servicio en cerámica. Pero es para la research. Que me dio recetas.
Sí.
Ah, ok.
pueden descargar también de material, solo se tienen que registrar y bueno, estamos cambiando la interfaz de la plataforma, pero cuando esté lista también la van a poder acceder desde aquí, desde esta postal.
Okay, yeah, so for now, like as Sandra said, you can download what I'm going to present you. For now, it's on the Lensis website, so it's on lensis.polivi.it. The other case study that we are going to see together tomorrow will be on lens.polivi.it. So we are making complex things, but we are sure that you can fix it. So that you can find everything online, because right now I'm going to show you like a small presentation about some case studies. Since we moved from product to product service system, we need to have some strategies to do it. So to make it really sustainable, so in environmental way and the socio-ethical aspect also. So I'm going to present you some guidelines and sub-guidelines that can help us in this direction with some case studies. Of course, since we have like just a small time, I'm going to present you just a few of them, but you can find more of them even during the design exercise that we are going to make next week. So in this way you can have some support in the design phase. So I'm starting to show you some case studies related to the fact of environmental sustainability, so that we understood that it is relevant not only at product level, but we can do something to make it more sustainable at system level. So as we saw before, not just about the washing machine, it's not that we are going to make just the washing machine more sustainable, even though of course the product sustainability is really relevant, but we need to make like at the system level more sustainable. How can we do it? For example, with this first guidance, which is system life optimization, that we can say, okay, maybe we have this washing machine, we can make some part more sustainable, we can improve the processes to build it and so on, but we can also make like the life more sustainable. So according to the kind of product that we have in our system, we can decide if, for example, we want to extend the life or if we want to intensify the use, for example. This depends, of course, on the kind of product we are going to offer. But for example, to make like the duration of a washing machine, it depends on the component for sure. But for example, we can add some services related to the upgrading of the software of the washing machine. So in this case, we have like an old product, but with some upgraded. So in this case, for example, I'm going to show the Ego, that is the ecologic wardrobe that is shared among people. So in this case, we have like product that are the clothes that are shared. And we have a system behind. So there is a person at his house has this wardrobe full of clothes, and then people can go there, they can select some of these clothes, and they can decide to have it one per day. So they go there, they keep 7 clothes, and they will be back like a week later, bringing the clothes back and taking some new clothes that they select again. So they are not going to buy the product, but what is going on is that the use of these clothes is intensified, because more people are going to use them. But in this case, we have a service behind. It's not just the product that someone is buying, but there is the whole ecosystem behind. So in this case, we have a system-like optimization of this product. Then we can have we can consider the fact of transportation and distribution reduction. So as we were saying before, for example, the fact of going to the cinema, maybe sometimes it's not even needed to go, so we don't need a car. So we change the satisfaction unit in this case. So if our goal is something, we can find many ways to satisfy this. So for example, this was shown before, is this one, for example. We have this product from IKEA from Sweden. So in this case, we have this furniture that is bring to the house of someone. But how to reduce, in this case, the transportation is not that we are not bringing the product to the house, but we are reducing the packaging. So the person is going to inflate hair once in place. So in this case, there is an additional service that we are adding to the product to make his transportation with reduced emissions, for example, and impact. Then you can have different strategies on this. We can also make the packaging reusable. We can make the packaging or the product share with among other people. So maybe like we do one transportation for local people and so on. So as again as before, even here we have some services behind this logic. Then about the strategy of resource reduction. So in this case, even we can have like different way of reducing this. So for example, is the fact that we are not going on one side you can reduce some part of the product itself, but it's also possible that we are adding some services that are reducing this. So for example, if we have a car sharing, for example, we are just building one car for a lot of people. So in this case, we have a resource reduction. And also, like this was the case of was presented before. Okay, I don't find it here, but it's okay. Yeah, it's here. Was the reverse simple use. So you don't buy the car, you just access the need that you have. Okay, so even in this case, we are reducing the resources because, and also this is an additional fact, if the ownership is still with the provider, he is interested in using good materials, product that lasting long, and so on. So we have all this like value chain that is going in this direction. Then we have waste minimization and valorization. And this could be also like considered in a different way. For example, we have this Patagonia product. It is not just the product itself, but what they decide is that they offer their product, but once their life is over, they take back the product as it is, and they can renew it, they can recycle it, and so on. So it's not just about the product, but it's what is going on. They decide to make like a different business model for it. And this consideration you can make every time that you make like a new product with a related service on it. You can think about this strategy that can help you. Then we have conservation and biocompatibility. And so for example, in this case, we can add some additional services, for example, for distributed, for the use of distributed renewable energies, for example. So this is current that is coming from the Netherlands. And in this case, they are not just giving you the solar panel and all the appliances. What they are giving you is also like they are teaching you how to learn with a product, plus some training to have the knowledge, to see how much energy you are spending, how much energy you are using, what you can do differently if you can share with someone else, and so on. So they are optimizing the use of energy, and so the local resource, they are optimizing it. Then the last strategy is the toxicity reduction. And so for example, there is this Dow Chemical. They are providing a service since they are selling some chemical liquids to be used, some solvents to be used. What they are offering here in this case is that they offer a service in which they transport you the thing, so they give you the solvent, and once is the end of life of the solvent, they bring it back. So we are sure that no toxic emissions are there, or at least we are reducing really them. So as you saw, all these strategies are not talking about really work at product level, but you're working at system level, because each product has a service behind, has a system behind. And we can improve it on the environmental sustainability level. And we can do something also at the socio-ethical level. So there are other 6 strategies that we can take advantage of. For example, we have the fact of improve empowerment working conditions. So in fact, in this case, even if we have a product, we can do something to know who is working to make it, how it's going on, what is the process to make it, and so on. So in this case, we have, for example, this global reporting initiative. So there is this company who is inviting, you can say, other companies to report on how they are doing with their workers, how are the conditions, and so on. And so this gets certified, and so when we buy a product, we know about this. So we can be, as a customer, we can be more aware on this. And this is also, this is not that to say that we are good, but there's also, like, for sure, some economic benefit behind this. Then as a second strategy about social equity, we have improve equity and justice in relation to stakeholders. So in this case, for example, there is this fair trade labeling organization in which who is producing, especially in emerging countries, can decide to follow some specific processes, and this will be recognized and certified. So this means that when you buy a product, you know where it comes from, how are the conditions of people, and so on. So a producer to be awarded on this needs really to be careful on what is going on. And this we can make it when we have like new products, we can make sure that we are doing it in fair conditions. Then we can do something to enable a responsible and sustainable consumption. And so in this case, I'm sorry. Okay. So in this case, this will be like more related also like to what the customer can do in this sense. How can we involve them? And for example, this is this startup group from Italy that they are building solar panels and they are involving the final users to do this. So they are making them aware on how a solar panel is, how they can build it, how they can make it more efficient, and so on. So we have some services related to the final product. So we can say, okay, the product is good itself, is producing solar energy, is renewable energy, and so on. But we can even do something more. So we don't stop with the product, but we go on with the service behind. Then we have favor integrate and the weaker and the marginalized. So even in this case, we can do something, both at product and system level. Because it's really relevant that we have like a strong commitment as a designer. This I think is really something that we need to take care of in about like ethical issues and so on. We need to be really aware of this. And for example, in this case, we have these solar cookers that involve like local women to build them together. So this enables people to provide by themselves something. So it's not related to like a very technological product, very high level product and so on, but it's more to involve people about the training of people, what they can do by themselves, how they can improve their self-power. So it's something really important for the social sphere of the thing. And also this kind of production, we can say also, that is giving access to something. So access to development, access to sustainable development, and so on. So it's really something that we need to take care about. Then we have like a strategy to improve social cohesion that can be made like among people of different ages, different cultures, and so on. So for example, it is this service that is an Italian language training. There are voluntary people that are teaching the Italian language to others. And so in this case, it can be everyone teaching to someone else, and this is favoring integration. So in this case, we don't have the product itself, we have more a service, because the aim is to get the integration. So the unit of satisfaction is to be part of a new culture. And so how we can do it? Okay, of course we can sell a book to someone that has to try by himself to do it. But in this way, instead, we are offering a service behind that is combining people, that is inviting them to interact each other, and so on. So we have something behind again. And then the last one is empower and enhance local resources. So the fact that when we think to make a product, we have even to consider like the local condition, the local context in that we are impacting in. And so in this case, for example, okay. For example, this is adopt a sheep. So they say that they have like a lot of farmers that we have sheep and so on. So what you can do is not just to buy like the final product, but you can decide to adopt the sheep. So you pay like a yearly fee. And with this, you can have all the product of your sheep, you can go to see it, you can interact with the farmer, you can see if everything is going on efficiently, or if you can improve something, and so on. So you are gaining also like the experience behind this, and not just the final product.
Be a good present for them.
So like all these strategies, then we are going to see them more in detail. Unfortunately, for time, I made them really short. But it's just to tell you that it's something really behind the product that we are going to design, and I think that as a designer we have really an important role on this, and so like we need to be really aware about like what behind the product. I think it's done.
Thank you.
Se lo fai in 15. Così è in 4.
So, are you very tired or can you resist? Now I want to, of course, at least, I was going to the toilet for a while, but you don't care about it. You won't do these things. But there is a website in which you can find lots of case study of different types, and so it's even when you're making research, that's good. And on the other side, please, if you have good case study, as Sandra knows, we want to upload a good case study up to the platform, and there will be distributed platform and something we will discuss another way. Now, I want to come, and I will take, since I have to be very short compared to the presentation that I scheduled, but I want to really take you to the key point of why an SPSS is environmentally and socio-ethically sustainable. Okay, we said it, but I want to have it clear for you. Okay, because it's important. Because it's important. If you don't get this point, then we are lost. Or when you generate idea, when you generate a concept, if you are losing these kind of things, the potential for sustainability then are lost. So this has to be taken in mind. There is a little bit of economy there beside, but it's not that difficult. Okay, we were able to follow me before, weren't you? Almost, yes, almost. Okay. So that's why I'm saying it again, so that I'm sure that you get. Vado?
Sì.
Whoa. So, the sustainability benefit and limits. I think I will skip the limits here. I will tell about this, maybe I will tell you where you can find this. They will be in the slides. I go very fast. This is the paradigm shift we said. So the environmental benefit of sustainable product service system. Eco-efficient means environmentally and economically efficient. Okay, so we understood that for an economic reason, a provider wants will say to a designer, or you design something that is good for environment, or I'll fire you out because you make me to lose the money. Okay? We get this point? Okay. Let's go to understand why. So if we have this kind of offer through an SPSS model, so we are offering a product, retaining the ownership and being paid per unit of satisfaction. There beside there is Xerox. So for example, they are paid per paper copy made, okay, retaining the ownership and so on. The longer the product lasts, so how long the product lasts, what kind of, and where is the benefit for the economic benefit for the provider? I'm coming back to what we said before, but I want to make it a more schematic way. So if this is the offer, which is SPSS offer, the longer the product lasts, what kind of economic benefit gives to the provider, the manufacturer?
Again, save money.
Sorry?
And save money.
Save money, it's a bit general. Where?
In the evaluation.
In? Yes, please. Sorry, I want to insist because I want you to know. Where? Consult.
In the maintenance of the products and the repair and the.
Actually, that is something that they are paying.
But also in administrative items,
Sorry?
in administrative stuff, they will earn time and save money there also, if they don't have too many things to manage.
Well, that would
They
be
don't have to
controversial.
produce more products or more artifacts in order to supply the necessities of the customer.
Okay. So the longer your close, one part was missing. The longer the product lasts, the more they avoid, they postpone the cost of disposal. Okay? It's their ownership. If this lasts long, the cost for disposal will be, okay, far away. So this is saving money. And on the other side, as he said, as last is long, then it is postponed the pre-production, the production of the material, the production of the product, and so on. So they avoid this cost. It's clear? the longer it lasts, they have all the cost of disposal and pre-production, production and transportation. It's economic, but it's quite clear. You get it? Said this, which interests us is that there is an economic interest for the producers to say to the designers, as I said before, you have to design something that lasts longer. So you have to study by Professor Sandra Molina very well how to design long-lasting product. Or
Carlo,
yes,
adding one thing,
yes,
particularly in countries like Mexico and Brazil, disposal costs apparently they are free for the company. Our institutions are very not existent sometimes. There is no very much institutions and taxes that can, like in Europe, you have a disposal cost. But there is a society cost for the disposal, which are not paid directly by the company. So it is really important to clarify. I'm agreeing totally with you.
No. Thank you very much. Okay, a second thing. Here we see car sharing. If we are selling a share use of product, like car sharing, okay, the more the product are intensively used, so there is no car that is parked. All the cars are there around. What is the economic benefit, which is interesting in environmental terms, because it means that there are less cars used for people, okay? So we have less cars in a given context, okay? But why this is interesting in economic terms for the provider? The more intensive use,
Because you are using it all the time and the life cycle is, it's not,
think about the money, just the money.
it's used in the entire life cycle, and it's not that park and consuming.
No, in one day, think in one day. I have the car that are used very intensively all the time, and it's good for the environment. Or I have another situation in students, 1 hour, then I wait 3 hours, and they're using another car.
More it comes.
Yes, the more it is used, the better is the profit. Because they get the money by the time of use. But this is good for the environment on the other side, okay? There are more people using the same service. They are going to, or it's well organized, okay? So again, the producer will say to the designer, you have to design something that is easy to do okay? I have to go fast. If, as in the case of the pay-per-use, if we are selling all-inclusive, the product plus the resources that they are using, the energy, could be even water. The higher the product is efficient, so how less energy is using per wash. What is the why there is a benefit for the producer? The higher the product resource efficiency in use.
Save resource.
Sorry?
Save resource and water.
Yes, but this is a cost for whom? Here is the point. The energy is a cost for whom? For the partnership, not for the client. The higher is the profit because they get the payment minus the cost of the resources. They are paying the resources. The energy used by the washing machine is cancelled by the bill because they are offering this. You pay per wash, you don't pay the washing machine, you don't pay the energy. Okay? So they want to have the most efficient washing machine. So they cut those costs. It's clear? Okay. Thank you. So they will say to the designer, you have to design the most efficient washing machine and whatnot. Okay? And if they are selling this is related to the energy, but energy is key important. I don't know if Elisa will have he will make a conference about that. You have to listen, it's very, very interesting. If you sell all-inclusive, the energy generator and the source of energy, and you pay per period, per time, and so on. So you get the energy generator, you're not the ownership. You're not paying the fuel that is used, or the source that makes this generator to produce the electricity. The higher is the use of passive or renewable resources, makes what kind of benefit for the provider? And why?
The same like higher profit because they don't pay for those resources.
Because those resources
Are free.
usually so far they are for free. Okay, for free the system could be more correct. But in general terms, this is so, and you will see there are lots of cases witnessing this. The higher is the profit. The payment minus the cost of non-passive renewable resources that you would use. Okay, if I have to use a diesel generator, then I have to pay the diesel. I don't have to pay the sun. Okay, so they design for passive renewable resources optimization. Again, if you sell all-inclusive the product with end-of-life treatment, it's a full package. The more the material are recycled, the more the energy we recover, the more we compost. The company compost. Why this is a benefit?
Because they can make material recycling.
And so
they don't have to buy new material.
New material, or they don't have, if they make energy recovery, they don't have to buy energy. If they recover energy, they don't have to buy energy. Or if it's a case of compost, they don't have to buy compost or something like this. Okay, and they avoid even the cost of landfilling. So there is an interest on designing for, or how we say, extending the life span of material, recycling, and so on. And again, if we sell together with some toxic substances the end-of-life treatment, the lower is the potential toxic emission during the use or during the end of the life, if they are offering the toxic plus the end-of-life treatment. The lower is this, the higher I go, because you're getting tired, the more they avoid the cost of the treatment of the toxic resources and blah 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 blah. You see the example of safe and biochemical. Well, we don't want any toxic, but since sometimes they still exist, okay. So again, there is a push to design for toxic efficiency and so on. I skip this. I have to go fast because I want to go to the socio-ethical benefit. And here again, I want you to give me some answer. Selling to the final user, which is typical for an SPSS model, the assess rather than the mere product ownership. Now we are speaking about socio-ethical benefit and the assess of goods and services to low and middle income contexts and people. What happened?
They pay by the use, no.
We said it before, repeat it, yes? They
pay by the use, not the product.
And so they can afford.
They can afford because they don't have to give a big amount of money.
Okay. If they have to buy a car, they cannot. If they take a car sharing, hopefully
They can pay only the
energy power, electricity power, okay? Because even about car sharing, we could make a long story. It's not that the car sharing per se is sustainable, okay? We will discuss this another time. They reduce or they avoid the purchasing cost that many times is too high for low and middle income context for people, okay? And this gives benefits to people because goods and services that people don't have access to. And if they are selling to the user as an all-inclusive to the product, whether it's sell or not, the life cycle services for maintenance, reparation, and so on, why is this beneficial for low and middle income people?
because they don't have to invert.
They don't have to?
Invest.
In what? In?
In the other services that that product generates.
Can you explain it better?
People have to take care about the money about for the maintenance.
Maintenance, or the, if it gets exactly. If it gets broken, if you need to maintain, okay, maybe this many times we saw some example in Africa. They have this pump or whatever, okay, get broken because it was donated, and then it's there, 10 years, no use, nothing, because they don't have the money to do that, okay? So even this is a key point and key issue. They avoid the cost for product maintenance, repair, and so on. That is many times too. And so we avoid the interruption of use. And so the benefits that the use of those products and services can give to us. If we go to the entrepreneurial level, we are saying something very similar. But this is key important as well. Because in a local economy, well, you well studied as well, but you have to look both at the quality of life of a family, but at the same time to empower the local economy, the local entrepreneur. So if if we are selling to an entrepreneur the assets rather than the equipment, the sewing machine, the drill, I don't know, whatever it is to make the wood workshop or whatever it is, why is this interesting?
Affordable. It makes affordable.
It makes it affordable as for the final consumer, as the final user. They don't have to, it needs an investment cost. Okay? They can start, then they make a business, then it will be even easier to, if they are good in making a business, of course, to go on with this.
At the same time, I think the local entrepreneurs impress your.
Yes, exactly. But so in fact, this is you may have, in many cases you cannot have a business startup because you don't have this initial investment cost. Well, there are even other strategies, microcredit or other things, but even SPSS, it's definitely a good strategy. And it's a good strategy even, we never forget that the producer will do something that is even environmentally sustainable. So it's a win-win in all the direction. And again, if they are selling to the entrepreneur an all-inclusive life cycle services for maintenance, reparation, and so on, I'm going to say for you, they may not have, now because you get the point, I think, I hope, they don't have the risk of not having the money, the cash, to pay the reparation of some equipment that could become too costly at that point for them. But if that was in the agreement with the one that was offering this as an SPSS, including whatever it happened, you pay per use, per time, or whatever, I will take care of the maintenance and so on. So we avoid the interruption of the working activities. Okay? Finally, And this is very interesting for me. It's kind of a, I don't know if you follow the debate on the base of the pyramid. You heard about it? You discussed with some colleague of you, of course. But the base of the pyramid is like you have a pyramid. You few person very rich here, lots of person very poor here. And there was several decades ago, starting from the US, I think, I'm not so sure, but I heard that time in Yale University, very many years ago, they said, okay, we can make lots of money by selling very cheap product, but to so many people that we can get anyhow lots of money. Okay? So anyhow, this not to, in a sense that they were anyhow having economy of scale, they can have product and so on, but I have some doubt about the quality of the product, but said this was a discussion, a debate that there has been an evolution into that, so I made only really the bad story of that. There is even a very good and very excellent example about that. But on a SPSS, we are, even in this case, we are looking to the base of the pyramid. Why? Because we are offering something that is accessible to the base of the pyramid. But actually, with product, with a high quality product, potentially, maybe with the most efficient and long-lasting solar panel, the most efficient washing machine, the most resistant. Because this is in the interest of the company, okay? And so maybe this is even very worth washing and so on. So again, what does it mean? That these open a new market opportunity for the base of the pyramid in a different way as it is traditionally perceived, offering this as an SPSS. Okay? I think I stop here because the presentation was a bit longer, but we want to make a little exercise with you. But that after the example, I really wanted to take a few minutes to ask you back to think a little bit up to those concepts. And maybe they will disappear tomorrow morning. But they will be, we will upload this on the website. You can look at them and they will be present. We will discuss with you in the design exercise that will be next week and so on. And so, but we really think that they are really very promising things, and they are tackling social innovation in a very interesting way, because it's sustainable in very diverse dimensions. So again, thanks for the attention, and it will be a design exercise in a while. Thank you. Hi guys, was it enough clear? Was it enough clear? Yes. And so far we didn't speak about design, okay? Trust, we will do it. But it's good to understand, these are, you start to understand that we have to design product, service, interaction, and blah, blah. And we have to be able to address those towards sustainable solution and something like this. So we will see what is the new approach and role for the designer, what are the tools, and so what could be used. And what you will see is our approach that we will combine with the approach that is coming from the different context, from Brazil, Mexico, China, India, and so on. And your participation into this course, I take this opportunity, is for us fundamental. So you are part of this Lens In project. We will ask you to give feedback on that, and but trust, this is really, it's not to say captatio benevolentia, like me because I'm saying something good about you. No, it's really that it's key important your role here, all right? Even to be critic. It's not that you have to be, oh, you're a good teacher, oh, yes, I like it. No, it's really, everything is in progress. You are more researcher than students sometimes, okay? And think that you're not doing to have a pleasure for your course here, but you're doing something even for the outside community. We are working with a network of 90 universities worldwide. We want to expand this, okay? So all you're doing here, it has a value.
Vamos a necesitar 2 equipos de cómputo para
design exercise, that is the last part of this, is just again, we will ask you to redesign a product offer to be a sustainable product service system. So maybe you decide, for example, or we will give you a computer. Lenovo is selling a computer. How Lenovo would offer a computer or something else as an SPSS. So we want you to brainstorm on that and to come up with a description of this. We will give you a very easy format that she will present. When you write something inside, you have to highlight a few things and so on. Okay? This is.
Okay, so as was said, like you are going to use this tool that is a concept description form that Sandra is giving you, so you will be divided in 2 groups, and each group will have to go from a product level to a sustainable product service system level. And we will do it with this tool that we usually use it during courses to describe and characterize new concept. Because then in here we have a concept title, is explain the satisfaction unit. We have a short description that mainly is a system level. So here you have to explain clearly what is the offer and which are the actors involved and why it's important they are inside of the system. And the concept profiling, so that is the right part of the scheme. So to see it a bit more in detail, you have to give a title to your sustainable product service system and to give it a short description of the concept you came out. We know that we have really a short time, so it will be something really draft, but the important thing is that from this morning you got the point to go from a product to a system that you already have in some ways. And then you came out with really like a really draft concept. Then you have to explain clearly the unit of satisfaction that you were saying, like for example before was having cleaning clothes. So it was not to have the cleaning, the washing machine, but to have the final satisfaction. So you have to really explain what is this. So from a computer, to have a computer, to do something with it, but then you have to specify what. But we don't give a computer as example. And then you have to characterize the concept that you get. So you have to specify who is the provider, who is the customer, which type of SPSS. So we have the three types: the product-oriented, user-oriented, and result-oriented. And we are going to be around with you. So in case you have some question or doubt, you can ask. Then you have to define which product are offered within your concept and which services are offered. Please specify that what we came out was important is that when you are offering a product, his ownership is really relevant, because change the thing. Because if it's the customer who is owning this, has maybe like less sustainable benefit. Instead, if it's a provider, has more sustainable benefit. Of course, we are not saying that there is just one option that is like the good one, but think about it and explain it. Then you have to say what is paid. So as we saw before, there are some cases in which the use is paid, in which maybe like a fixed fee is paid, or a product is paid. And then the last one, that is the DE configuration, we will see it in the next days. So the last part you don't have to fill it. You will have around these 15 minutes that you have. Then we will have 5 minutes for each group to present it. So you will have to present just like one slide like this, just with the tool, and explaining everything in it. Okay? Okay, so you can start the exercise. You can divide in group as you prefer. Just two groups, maybe.
I would, even though she said that, I would suggest two things that are here in this room for sure, except from few old-fashioned person like me and Aguinaldo, a mobile phone and a computer. I would suggest. Some is doing this and some is doing that. Okay? So how to offer this as an SPSS.
Vaya, porque allá...
Sí. Pues desde esta mitad ya trabajamos con la compu de frente. Para allá. Sí, para allá.
This is timing because we start late. This is one group. Who's the leader? You? Who's the computer to be used?
That one.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
The other group? There, who's the leader? Yeah, he's not. Who's the leader?
Se llama concepto.
Okay. So you take the responsibility of timing and so on. I will come talk to you later. No, since we have short time, don't use too much time in just have a computer, discuss and start writing immediately.
¿Con qué van a trabajar?
a tener que desalojar las instalaciones, pero un poco la idea es que ustedes puedan continuar pensando y reflexionando y sí, quizá tratar de llenar el formato de tarea, y mañana vamos a continuar trabajando algunos puntos específicos que han detectado los profesores que se necesitan trabajar más, ¿de acuerdo? Pero sí les pediría que por la tarde traten de continuar, traten de llenar el formato, ¿de acuerdo? Traten de repensar, traten de enfocarse en el servicio, cómo transportar esto, porque ya vieron que no es tan sencillo. Entonces, mañana el programa empieza a las 8 de la mañana. Acuérdense, los chicos de Integral entran a las 7, entonces el programa oficial empieza a las 8, ¿de acuerdo? ¿En qué salón les toca con Alejandro? 107. 107, si quieren llegar a las 7, pero el programa inicia a las 8, es decir, ustedes pueden llegar a las 7 y continuar trabajando esto para que ya traigan una propuesta y a las 8 iniciamos las actividades de manera formal, ¿de acuerdo?
Entonces tenemos un programa para la
pueden entrar después. Bueno, pues gracias a todos, nos vemos el día de mañana. No.